Bring it down. Man, Most High Christ, man. Shalom, Yahweh, Shalom, Yahweh, Shabbat, to all of Israel, man. It's Isupk, Kentucky. We're about to do a history class, man. And of course, I gotta say this Isupk coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. I am Officer Sarna Quash.
And Officer 50 Hawamar.
And we're about to hold down this history class, man. Prayers up for Officer Makaboff, man. Hope the brother get right, because this is a Makaboff's class. And, prayers up that the brothers get right and get back here and do that class that he do. You know what I'm saying? But we're just going to break this history class. We're going to break this. Brother got a story, man. We're about to get into it. And let's do it.
So this history class is going to be a brief history on incarcerations of Blacks and Hispanics in America.
Most High Christ, man.
So the first is from Black Enterprise. Alabama man serving life sentence for stealing $9 in 1982.
I mean, that's not even funny, but it's so ridiculous that the first response is a laugh. Salakia.
Beth Shelbourne, a reporter.
Salakia, I'll go ahead and read that for you, man. I'll go ahead and read that for you. Beth Shelbourne, a reporter and producer for WBRC TV News in Birmingham, Alabama, has recently shed light on the story of a man who has spent the last 38 years of his life in prison for stealing $9.
So like I said, that's absolutely ridiculous. He's been in the joint since the 80s for $9.
I mean, if I may, I come from the West Coast where they got the three strikes law in California. So I've heard of ridiculous stories like this. The sad thing is that this is normal. As ridiculous as it is, it's normal, man. I mean, let me continue. All right, for sure. Willie Simmons was convicted of first-degree robbery and sentenced to life without parole in 1982. Simmons, an Army veteran, became addicted to drugs while stationed outside of the United States.
If I could, they always want to bring up a person's criminal history when something happens to them. And if we continue to read the story, it wasn't even a violent robbery. The man arrested him to the ground to take his weapon.
And if I may, man, you fight for this country, you know what I'm saying? You love their God, you love their country, you fight for the so-called freedoms. And like you said, the fact that he was addicted to drugs, well, he's a veteran. The story should be that he was addicted to drugs and got help. You know what I'm saying? How do you give somebody all that time, man? They just avoid it, just forget the fact that this man laid down his life for this funky country, man. It's a lot here, man. Let me continue. It's a lot here. And if I may, man, that's really a ridiculous story, because we're talking about a man that was willing to die for this country. They didn't have no type of compassion to try to get him help, more help. Then try to get him help again if you have to. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Salakia. He was prosecuted under Alabama's habitual offender law, which is similar to other three strike laws. Simmons had 3 prior convictions. Simmons admitted to using drugs prior to committing the crime that got him sentenced to life. He said, "I was just trying to get me a quick fix," he said. He wrestled a man to the ground and stole his wallet that contained a total of $9.
So, like, if I may, I still can't get over this. The man got life in prison without the possibility of parole for $9.
The police ended up arresting him a few blocks away. Simmons recalled that his trial lasted 25 minutes and his court-appointed attorney called no witnesses. The prosecutors also did not offer him a plea deal, even though his prior convictions were nonviolent. All of his appeals over the past 38 years have been denied.
So this man has been in prison for 38 years of his life after giving his blood, sweat, and tears to this country and the military. He's been in the joint for 38 years without the possibility of parole, never having a violent conviction for $9.
Well, I mean, us in the ISUPK under Commander General, we know why. The court does not even see this man as a human. You know, this is, literally almost a human being. It's 3/5 of one. He has, him serving for them is basically them doing him a favor.
And if I may, that was heavy that you was bringing that out about the 3/5 of a man not even having citizenship. The Dred Scott case was never officially overturned.
I mean, absolutely. It never will be. We talk about this 3/5 of a man, and I don't understand why it's not a bigger issue than it is. Why don't people talk about that? I mean, we've watched America invade Iraq. We've watched America do all of these different ins and outs to make governments topple their leaders. And the first thing America tells them to do is to write a constitution. That's the first thing America does. The first thing Afghanistan had to do was write a new constitution. The first thing Iraq had to do was write a new constitution. Get rid of the constitution that caused tyranny. But America would never get rid of their constitution that caused tyranny, man. You're calling a people 3/5 of a human being. And today's people will make an excuse for it. Oh no, that was for voting. That was so that the voting, you make an excuse for calling a people 3/5 of a man. Slovakia, let me tell you, Reed. It sickens me to think about how many other people are warehoused in prison, forgotten. Shelbourne said in a tweet, "When tough on crime, people say everyone in prison deserves to be there. Think of Mr. Simmons. We should be ashamed of laws that categorically throw people away in the name of safety. We should question anyone who supports Alabama's habitual felon law. It needs to go." Man, check this out. If I may, I'm from the state of Nevada. We have what's called habitual felon. It's a habitual felon law. So if you commit enough felonies in their eyes, they call it a habitual felon. But what they will do is they'll charge you with 5 crimes in one incident. It'll be robbery with the use. That's 2 charges. Then with that robbery is burglary with the use. That's 4 charges. You see what I'm saying? And then if it's someone else with you, it'll be a conspiracy with the use. So you have 6 felonies. 6 felonies, which is absolutely disgusting. But if I may, they'll pardon Bannon, the white supremacist. How he can't go to prison. That's what Trump said. He's not going to prison. He's a great American. But this man, like you said, for $9, you spend the rest of your life in prison. I don't give a damn if you have 500 felonies. $9 should never keep you in a cage forever. It's Lockheed.
All right, the next article is from the Sentencing Project. The color of justice, racial and ethnic disparity in state prisons. It reads, when former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd by kneeling on his neck in 2020, the world witnessed the most racist elements of the U.S. criminal legal system on broad display. The uprisings that followed Floyd's death articulated a vision for transforming public safety practices and investments. Almost a year later, Chauvin was convicted for Floyd's death, a rare outcome amongst law enforcement officers who kill unarmed citizens. The fight for racial justice within the criminal legal system continues, however. The data findings featured in this report epitomize the enormity of the task. The report details our observations of staggering disparities amongst Black and Latino people in prison in the United States, given their overall representation of the general population. The latest available data regarding people sentenced to state prison revealed that Black Americans are in prison at a rate that is 5 times the rate of white Americans. During the present era of criminal reform, not enough emphasis has been focused on ending racial and ethnic disparities.
You know, if I may, Salakia, there is a ridiculous statistic in this country, and if I may, you know, Isupk Kentucky, man, under Commander General Yohana, man, this brotherhood is a beautiful thing, because, you know, we both said we were going to do this history class and we were going to come up with, you know, topics. You get a topic, I get a topic. I know I'm exposing everything, but that's how we plan to get this class down. And guess what my topic was? What? We about to go. When I'm telling you, my topic is dealing with the prison system, you know, and how they do Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians here in Kentucky. That's the chart that I'm about to pull up. You know, I pray that y'all can see the chart. It's not that big of a chart, but that's man, that's Most High in Christ, man. Salakia.
Going to prison is a major life-altering event that creates obstacles to building stable lives in the community, such as gaining employment and finding stable and safe household after release. Imprisonment also reduces lifetime earnings and negatively affects the outcomes among children of incarcerated people.
Let me ask you a question. You know, in this country, you know, white supremacy is so powerful that it even makes us blame ourselves. It makes us say, oh, we committing the crimes. So that's why the disparity, as if white people don't commit crimes. Yes, Black people commit crimes. Yes, in the hood, there's crimes. Yes, there's gangs, there's drugs, there's prostitution, there's murder, you name it. I said there's drugs, there's prostitution, there's murder, there's gangs. What have I named that's not in the suburbs? Maybe you don't understand about Kentucky. Now, we're going to get to a point later when they say that 77% of this country is white. Sometimes they say 62, and I'm going to show you the difference. So what you're led to believe is that white people are better than you and don't commit as much crimes as you do, as if we don't have a Black, Hispanic, you know, community that don't commit crimes. The vast majority of us would have to commit crimes to be overwhelmingly the population in prison. I mean, it don't even, like, when we go over the numbers in Kentucky, most people would think the numbers is low, but when you get to what the population is, the disparity, you know, how are you 7%, but then 25% of something? There's something wrong with that. And us as a people, man, we constantly let white supremacy also lie to us and believe it. And we start to beat ourselves up. Salakia.
And what she was bringing out was so heavy about, you know, yes, there's criminal activities in our neighborhoods. Yes, there's drugs in our neighborhoods. But the brother went to jail for $9. And nobody sold more crack than Oliver North and never did a day in prison.
But the crazy thing is what people don't understand, obviously, they called Oliver North a hero. Not only did he not go to jail, but he's a hero, and he's actually a Fox News contributor. He goes on there speaking politics, and he's a hero. His voice matters. After selling crack and funneling and pushing crack into the black community, he's a hero. And we just sit back and just accept the kicking. You know what I'm saying? We accept it. We embrace it, man. It's like we deserve it. And it's disgusting, man.
This cycle, both individually and society, is felt disproportionately by people who are black. It is clear that the outcome of mass incarceration today has not occurred by happenstance, but has been designed through policies created by a white-dominated culture that insists on suppression of others. And we're going to get into why and how this system of how the prison system was set up and what the purpose of it was for. At the same time, the states have begun to chip away at mass incarceration. 9 states have lowered their prison population by 30% or more in the recent years. This decline has been accomplished through a mix of reforms to policy and practice that reduce prison admissions as well as lengths of stay in prison. Still, America maintains its distinction as being the world leader in its use of incarceration, with more than 1.2 million people held in state prisons around the country. The United States has the #1 prison population on the entire planet.
And you gotta say they have more people in prison than the world combined. I mean, and then this is the thing that get me. This is what the Native brothers talked about, the forked tongue. You know, and that's why even in the Bible, you know, people don't understand why it's called a serpent. It's a man with speaking 2 different. Not only is it's subtle. It's such a the whisperer. You know, don't do this. You can do this type of thing. Well, America will tell you that Beirut, Brazil, all of these other places are the most dangerous places on the earth. But America's the one locking everybody up. America's the one with the prison population that represents the most dangerous. You would think that these places that are so-called so dangerous would have an incarceration higher, even percentage-wise, to America. But it doesn't. Because America needs the world to think that it's the holy grail of the earth. It's the greatest place to be. You even have Negroes saying this is the greatest country on earth. Ain't been outside of Arkansas. Ain't been outside they damn state. trying to say this is the greatest country on the earth, most powerful, and if you're saying greatest money, and I'll agree. But that's not what they mean. What they mean is opportunity and freedoms and this, that, and the others. Well, all you needed to really look at was the epidemic, the pandemic, whatever the hell they wanted to call it. Look how most of the world treated their citizens compared to America. You had people in Italy and Sweden and all these places getting $4,000-5,000 a month. America almost went crazy because you got unemployment. Money you paid. Taxes you paid. They almost went crazy. Salakia.
We got some stats here. I know you're big on stats, sir.
Man.
Black Americans are incarcerated in state prisons at 5 times the rate of white Americans.
in the greatest country on earth. Black men will get in the army and talk about his freedoms, his country, what he loves, and fighting for our rights, marching in the goddamn street, sitting at diner counters. You don't even like the goddamn give me a white dish, hunkadory. You know what I'm saying? You don't even like the bland food. You just want to be around white people. And your love of wanting to be around white people is killing your children and locking your children up. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't give a damn what you or nobody say. I'm speaking from experience. There are too many Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men locked up for BS. For nothing, man. For nothing. Locked up with Buck Roger dates. I'm talking about 2040 when they getting out. 2050. Ain't even hurt nobody. Ain't even hurt nobody. Can I go off just real quick? Listen, our enemies fund and support the so-called music that promotes this trash, funds it, puts it out. It's damn near impossible for the best rappers. You can't have King Ty and a car. They're not gonna get the distribution deals that them devils give out to have their music, which is great music, all over the world, representing Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. They want Megan the goddamn male horse. That's what they want. They want the twerk music, the gay. For the first time, I seen the one gay dude. I said it in the post the other day. I said pause for the first time in my life. The dude was a rapper. And I know it because I was watching the No Jumper special and AD made a song with him. I can't think of the gay dude name. But they promote that. I guarantee you if I say that man's name, anybody watching this will know him. But if I say someone like Kataza or King Ty or the Rebel, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna know who that is. But they gonna know a fat black punk on stage twerking. So they promote that. They promote what's the dude sitting on the people? Fulio. He all on somebody's grave rapping. I done smoking your homie and smoking tukas and all this stuff. They promote that. That's what they promote, and then lock everybody up. It's lock it, man.
And if I could, what you bringing out is so heavy, and it's not off topic with the music, because Time Warner is one of the biggest distribution labels out there, and one of the biggest owners of private prisons.
And let me tell you something, man. That is so heavy. That is so heavy. Because they know that music is going to make it cool. It's going to make it cool to kill people. I'm going to jack you for this. I'm going to do that. And, listen, ain't nobody made a song, a popular song, that's talking about how much time you can get for snatching somebody's chain. That should be the biggest hit in America right now. Nigga, you could get double life for doing that. Salaki, I almost sung a hook right there, but I don't want to get checked. You know what I'm saying? That should be the song being played. But no, it's I'm a jack you, I'm a F your B, you know what I'm saying? Your baby mama, legs in the air. And that's what's being promoted by Time Warner, because Time Warner is going to also lock your tail up. That's what they're gonna do. And now the white man got job security. Police ain't going nowhere. Correction officers ain't going nowhere. Emergency room, doctors and all that ain't going nowhere. It's job security. That's what we are. Do you understand that? It would kill this country if every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian left. This country wouldn't be able to function. Because as I'm going to bring out during the lecture, I'll plug it later, white supremacy is nothing without us. What is it? How powerful is white supremacy without us? Do you understand that? You got billions of people in China. They're not Christians. You got a sprinkle of Christian, a sprinkle of Muslim. They're not trying to hear that white Jesus shit that they talking. White supremacy ain't gonna work with them until they come over here. Salakia, my bad. Salakia.
And since you brought up wanting to be around white people so damn much, you got another stat for you. Now, anybody Black or Hispanic in the Midwest knows that you go to Wisconsin where it's supposed to be sweet at.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody says that. But right here, nationally, 1 in 81 Black adults in the U.S. is serving time in state prison. Wisconsin leads the nation in Black imprisonment rates.
Wow.
1 out of every 36 Black residents are in prison.
Damn. Man, read that again.
Come. Nationally, 1 in 81 Black adults in the U.S. is serving time in state prison. Wisconsin leads the nation in Black imprisonment rates. 1 in every 36 Black residents is in prison.
Well, we should thank the Mossad that we got a powerful priest out there to bar him off, man, to correct that. Because, I love, like you say, I love numbers. And 1 in 36, that's an epidemic, man. That's crazy. That right there, to have that as a stat, meaning that white people, they admitting that. You would think they lie about that number. That is horrific. Do you understand that? Because just think of it this way. We understand that women are incarcerated less. You factor in
those repairs
that woman incident.
Yes, of course.
That is crazy, man. That is like
from home, sir.
Salakia. That is crazy, man.
I
can't believe that.
Cost those homeowners thousands of dollars, unless, of course, they have a sewer line protection plan from home, sir.
Look at the white man. White man trying to interrupt the class.
Cost those homeowners thousands of
white
dollars.
man trying to interrupt the class, man. Salakia.
Protection plan from home, sir.
But yeah, that's Salakia, man. That's crazy. If I made that, is like, that's crazy. for that to be a real thing is absolutely crazy. 1 in 36 is madness. That's crazy. Salakia.
In 12 states, more than half the prison population is black. Alabama, Delaware, Georgia, Illinois, Louisiana, Maryland, Michigan, Mississippi, New Jersey, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. 7 states maintain a black-white disparity of 9-1. California, Connecticut, Iowa, Maine, Minnesota, New Jersey, and Wisconsin.
And the thing that kills me is this. If you go to New Jersey is a white state. You know, Georgia has a lot of black folks, but it's a white state. You got Atlanta, Savannah, you have a lot of places where there's, you know, a heavy black population. That's just should let y'all know that our inner cities is under attack. Now, I watch the news, I watch the stories, the headlines. They giving white men accused of planting pipe bombs and killing people. All of these white in Georgia, giving them bail. But somebody like Young Thug or they can't get bail. You see what I'm saying? They such a threat to society. But they'll give these white people bail. The dude that went and did that, what's his name? The dude that got on the stand crying like that. What was his name? The little white kid that went out there and killed the dude. He got bail. Just, man, I get heated, man. I get heated because our people don't see it because we so busy watching the fuzz, man. We so busy watching the BS that we miss the destruction of our people, man. Because it isn't directly concerning us. It's not your family. So you just, you turn into a rebel when it's you. Now the white man ain't a damn and, you know, the America unfair and all of that when it happens to you. Well, being in the truth, you got to realize it's happening to you when it's your people. Salakia.
Now, what you're bringing out is heavy. You said Boston, Massachusetts is a white area, right?
Yes.
Here we go. The Hispanic to white disparity are highest in Massachusetts, where the ethnic differential is 4-1.
And Boston and Massachusetts have been known for white crime. The Irish mob, the Jewish mob, the Italian mob, they have a history of crime out there. You know, they invented the RICO Act for the mob, but it's been used against us. They invented it for them. Correct? But it's being used against us. It's locking us up and has been locking us up since it's been invented. But the point is this. Black people are so comfortable with the crumbs. We've always been comfortable with the chitlins, man. The slop. Why? Because it just gets us by. So chitlins, shit, we're going to throw some salt on it, season it, and we're going to ignore the smell, and we're going to eat it, and we're going to say it's good. That's what we do in this country. That's what we do with America. We season up and make anything they do to us okay. It's not okay, man. It's not okay. And these same people will say, I love God. Jesus is my everything. That don't even make sense. Jesus is your everything, but the white man is your Lord. You're putting the white man before Christ. You don't serve Christ. You serve white people. You serve their law. You serve their ways. They can do anything to you. Anything to you. And you'll justify it. You'll accept it. You'll accept it. You won't change. You'll accept it. You said, was that you that said something? What happened to the Negro down here in Kentucky we confronted? The Grandmaster J. This Negro had black folks buying guns and them niggas there, boy. That nigga in the feds, locked up. And the We Don't Give a F coalition ain't did a damn thing. What they do? Nothing. So they give a F. They got to change their name now. They got to be the Give a F coalition because they locked their leader up with no incident. Now they on TV out here in Louisville, Kentucky, crying. I just talked to the lady, trying to get this lady to come to the debate. I mean, Salakia, to the lecture out here. They on YouTube crying. Free him. He's been done, man. We are sick people, man. And Salakia, I don't want to overtake your thing, man. Salakia, man. You just came heavy though. You know when you come here, you know what you was doing. Go ahead, Salakia.
So, the prison populations, the disparity. Why is it the way it is? Well, it's right here. It's been in front of our face the whole time. Amendment 13 of the United States Constitution.
Wow.
Section 1. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Section 2, Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. If I may, sir, this country was built on the enslavement of the Lord's people. It got wealthy on the enslavement of the Lord's people, and it runs today, right now, on the enslavement of the Lord's people. And it's right here. It's right here in front of us.
And if I may, that 13th Amendment needs to be investigated because after that so-called Emancipation Proclamation, they were locking black people up. You homeless. No, but you sitting right here right now. You ain't at home. So you homeless, lock them up. Do you have a job? Where you work? Oh, well, it's illegal not to have a job in this county. Lock them up. So once again, the Constitution, if you're a black police officer, you swear an oath to a document that has oppressed your people because you believe that it includes you. Listen, the white man will use that Constitution to include you if it means he's going to lose money or look foul to the rest of the world. If the white man could get away with oppressing you and destroying you quietly, you're going to be quietly destroyed. I guarantee you that. But they need the rest of the world to take them seriously. So they can't just hang you and burn you no more. They want to. Y'all act like the people that was at the picnic burning and killing black people alive were just some sick, well, Salakia, they were sick, but you act like they were like some different people in society. These was nurses. These were dietitians, chefs, cooks, servers, lawyers, judges. These were the productive members of society, watching you burn and have their children front row. Go ahead.
And if I could, these are some sick people that we're dealing with, because they would put it on the back of a postcard.
Absolutely.
And those children you were talking about, that's somebody's grandparents today.
Yes. I mean, listen. Not only it's what y'all don't understand is it's not that the white man will ever change. He can't. These is the same people. That's why a white man can go to Buffalo, New York, kill black people. That's over with. That ain't in the news no more. You don't hear about that no more. That's done. Man going to church, killed, done. But the white man still remember Amber. There's still a goddamn Amber alert. One little white girl go missing, which ain't right. I'm not saying it's right, but it's a law. It changes everything. Oh my God, the white girl and it changes everything. 9, 10, 15 black people die. Sorry. They'll talk about it, but then they'll justify it. They have a whole that they call right wing that'll blame the left for that. So there's one group of white people blaming another group of white people. You see what I'm saying? And then this group of white people blame this group of white people. So they infight. To hell with you. To hell with the 9, 10, 15 black people dead. They're fighting each other saying, oh, it's your fault, or it's your fault, or it's your fault, or it's your fault. All along, nothing is done. There ain't no Buffalo, New York grocery store law. But the Asian gets called a light socket. You so Asian, you look like a light socket. And the whole law change. You can't, it's Asian hate bill, Salakia. It's the Asian hate bill. Because somebody talked about them. Salakia, man.
That's all I had to say.
Man, look, man. It's heavy. We got the same, basic topic. But if I may, the incarceration is like, it's one of the symptoms of white supremacy. And it's also a sign proving how we losing in white supremacy. It's only so many times you can blame yourself. Oh man, we don't like each other. Oh man, we always bringing each other down. Have you watched the MSNBC and Fox yet? White people bringing each other down and hate on each other every goddamn day. What the hell you talking about? White people kill each other. White people hate on each other. White people, there's different groups and different standards of white people, and they add each other every goddamn day. Don't tell me, black folks all we do is go against you. We don't, man, get the hell out of here with that, man. There is a vehicle running us the hell over. I wouldn't give a damn if listen, we can be, which we are, by the way, but we can be known as the most loving people on this goddamn planet. And guess what? We just be some loving niggers. That's it. That's it. Won't nothing be different. There will be nothing different. Hispanics don't like each other. Cubans don't like Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? Mexicans don't like Cubans. Mexicans don't like these Mexicans. They don't like the Chicanos. Chicanos don't like the pop. Come on, man. There's hate all within the Lord's people. But there's also hate within the heathens. Chinese don't like Japanese. Laos, Korean don't like none of them. They get the prosper because there's no goddamn laws presented to destroy them. Ain't no goddamn Asian Jim Crow. Should I say Jim Cat? Salakia. Ain't no laws against the Asians. Historically, there's no laws against them. There's laws against blacks. There's laws against Hispanics. So, of course, our destruction is historical. No goddamn laws against the Russians over here. They supposed to be America's biggest enemy. Listen, man, we got to stop this craziness about always beating ourselves up, man. Yeah, we have our issues. We're sick people. And I've just did a class that we so sick we need the medicine. As I said, the Isupk under Commanding General Yohana is that medicine. But we sick. But so is the rest of so-called humanity. But they don't have the same tunnels to go through we do. There have been laws against our people. They can't have land. They can't vote. They can't do this. They can't do that. There's laws against us, man. That sets you back hundreds of years. This country is what? How old is this country? 200-300 years old? You know, but there's laws that have set us back 900 years. We can't catch up. The only thing we can do is get back to our way, our Lord. Salakia, I'm going to try to share this screen. Y'all bear with me. That ain't going to work. Salakia. This right here, let me get to, we're dealing with Kentucky and the different aspects of incarceration. So, let me see. So, in Kentucky, right, we're going to deal with, okay, so there's another chart that I don't think I can bring up. It wouldn't let me bring it up on here. Here it goes. Here's another one. So when it comes to jails, because this is Isupk Kentucky. Kentucky is number one in jail admission compared to Tennessee, number 2, North Carolina, number 3, Indiana, number 4, Ohio, number 5, West Virginia, number 6, and Illinois, number 7. We're dealing with our region here, okay? So Kentucky's number 1 with admissions. Now, I'm bringing this out for a reason. Now, the jail pre-trial population, these are the ones waiting for trial. The number 1 in Kentucky was who comes into jail. So you come into jail, now who's going to stay in the jail pre-trial? You understand that? Kentucky's number 2, only second to Tennessee. And it's very close. Why do you say that, Asar? Let's get to it. The prison admission, that means when you go to that county jail, who sends more people to prison? From that county jail. That means probation, case dismissed, the things that don't really matter, that are kicked out. Kentucky's not in that. Kentucky's number 1 to sending your tail to prison, man. That's what Kentucky's number 1 at. Why are you talking about this, Asar? Stick around. Jail sentence population. Of course, Kentucky's number 1 because they send the most to prison. The prison population out of Tennessee, Ohio, Indiana, West Virginia, and Illinois We're talking about Nashville, Memphis, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Indianapolis. The hell with West Virginia. I don't even know what's so city. Slovakia. The hills have eyes. Slovakia. North Carolina. What's that? Raleigh, Charlotte, Illinois, Chicago, Prior, whatever. You know, they have big cities, man. Kentucky don't have no big city like that. Louisville's they big. Ain't a million people here. It's 4 million people in Chicago. But Kentucky got the most. Slovakia. Now let's break down something else, if I may. If I may. So, in Kentucky, I'm going to read this. In Kentucky, Black people constitute 9% of state residents. Now, I want you to really think about that. 9%. 9%. So, you know, there's 9,000 people for every 100,000. 9%. But in the prison system, we go all the way up to 22 to 30%. Now, I know that's not the national. I know that's not like California where there's 50 and this, that, and the other. But you have to understand the number of people in California. California would be the 4th richest nation in the world if it was its own country. We're talking about little ass Kentucky. Are locking Black and Hispanic people up more than any. Listen, I can't pull up this chart. I wish I could. But for some reason, the computer's not letting me pull up this chart. But I remember the chart, and you can do your own investigation. Kentucky has a chart to where it will say the prison system. It says Asian, 1.5. It says white, 70 some odd percent. You see what I'm saying? And then it said Black. And then mysteriously, there was a group of people missing, Hispanic. There was no Hispanic. I looked at it today. I looked at this other chart that I have on here, and it shows Latinx. Listen, y'all, this is heavy. Listen, you know, Black people have been Afro-Americans, African, colored, Negro. We've been all kind of stuff. Now they doing it to our people, the Lord's chosen people, our Latino brothers. Now Latinx. You know why they do that? Because they've now put the Latinos as white people. You don't believe it? Go to the census. Look at the census list. They'll ask you, are you Mexican, Cuban? They go through this whole list. You check that, then you got to check another one. The other one says white, Black. So what type of Hispanic are you? Do you realize that up to 80% of Hispanics classify themselves as white? Right? White. It took me to study this because I didn't understand. While I was working in Kentucky, I'm from the West Coast. I'm used to Mexicans, but I come out here and the Cubans hate niggas. They look at you like, what are you talking to me for? But soon as a white man come in the building, they all teeth. Which I realize that I have more work to do. So I say that to say this. Our enemy teaches them before they come over here. Because most of these Cubans and Dominicans and all of that are here what you call legally. They've gone through the test and they've seen the test that says Hispanics are white. It's on the test. It says it to them. They suggest that they are white people because our enemy don't want them coming over here, learning that they are our brothers. You got a black man from Cuba look just like me. I'm not black. I'm not black. There's something. And y'all gotta understand, I realize that the classes that we do is heavy, man. And it vexes you. You can't watch it. You turn it off. We racist and we all whatever. But ain't that special to you? That a black man or a black woman coming from Panama with a history of oppression from the Spanish identify with white people before you, the people with the same history as them, oppressed, lynched, burnt alive, beat, laws against them. Go ahead.
And if I may, sir, coming from countries, Latin American countries, where historically the Spaniards and the Portuguese classified the indigenous people as Negro also. But to come here and call yourself a white person, that's crazy.
Because America has to do that. America would be nothing. The day Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians realize that we are the Lord's chosen people and we are family. See, what you see right here is the creation of the Lord's chosen people. A cake unturned. You got the shades of Israel. Just put all the other ones in the middle. Getting all the way to my black ass, Salakia. You understand that? That's what the Lord chosen people are about. But we will allow our enemy to say, no, you look like them, but you're not them. You're white. You're white. If y'all don't believe me, Google it. Go to the census. Read how they trick them. And they feel white. You got to understand Hispanic people, man. Who would want to be black? Who would want to be the people oppressed, destroyed? They think they can leave their country and get away from that. They don't understand that the American white man is the same as the Spanish white man. They brothers. They brothers. That Spaniard is a white man. That same Spaniard that lynched and killed your people in Latin America, South and Central America, is the brother. Because people don't understand this. Columbus went through the Americas. I hope y'all understand that. His brother landed in Virginia with the same mission to spread Christianity. And we're going to go over that October 22nd. At Kentucky's first lecture. I invite y'all all to come out because we are going to destroy white supremacy, man. We're going to destroy. Listen, Commander General Yohana has already destroyed it. You know why I say that? Because white supremacy does not rule me. It doesn't rule this brother. It doesn't rule anybody in the Isupk under him. He destroyed it. Now it's our job to spread it. So it's now not just destroyed within me, but it's destroyed within everybody within the state of Kentucky, man. Everybody within the state of Kentucky. Every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian in Kentucky should be in the Isupk under Commanding General Yohana. And I know people be like, yeah, I believe it's very possible. That's what I believe. I believe every brother down there on the West End, we can have the biggest school, the biggest following ever, right down there on the West End. Give us one of them old 1805 churches and call it our school. Because they'll learn the truth, man. The truth. But back to our Hispanic brothers. Our Hispanic brothers have to realize that they've been lied to. And that's a lot to ask for them, because even the Blacks that have been here don't believe it. We have a fight on our hand. Go ahead.
If I could, I got a sentence to read from the author Jack Forbes.
Go ahead.
It says in his book, The Use of the Term Negro and Black to Include Persons of Native American Ancestry in Anglo-North America by Jack Forbes. This is on page 12. That Native Americans were quite commonly called Negro is much supported in Portuguese use. During the colonial period, Brazilian Indians were repeatedly referred to as Negros de Terra, or Negroes of the land.
Yes.
By the Portuguese.
Of course. Of course. And if I may, that word Negro, is translated to mean black. And everything they saw, they called Negro. You know what I'm saying? It was Negro up and down the shore. What y'all don't understand is you're so into colorism, man. You're going to have to get out of that colorism BS. That colorism destroys us because we are here stuck on what your color is. So now there's this big argument about Dominicans, because Dominicans don't want to say they black. Some of the Dominicans will say, yes, we black, but I'm not going to ignore my other history. I'm black, I'm Spanish, and I'm Native. When I hear that, all I hear is white supremacy. What other people would ever claim the rape of their people? I mean, who does that? Just think about it. If you know your mama was raped, you ain't gonna fight for your father. You ain't gonna be like, my father was a rapist. My father was, that's my father. He was the rape man. Listen, get the hell out of here. Let me pull this up real quick. I'm trying to find this chart, man. I got it on the computer, but see that right there? That's the hands that they use. That's an old hand chart. I can't put that up on the computer. So, Salakia, y'all bear with me because I'm going to find this chart that I had. There you go. So, this is a chart, and I love my brothers, but like we call blacks and natives out, let's talk about Hispanics for a minute and see how white supremacy has brought them in and choked them against us. And when I say us, I'm talking about all black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, because it's choked them against their own people, which is us. So Latino adults saying their race is, this is all Hispanics in America. Okay. Now, I don't give a damn what they say on YouTube. This is what they tell the census. This is what they tell when they vote. This is the common thing in America, theme in America. All Hispanics, 58% of them in this country consider themselves white. 27% says some other race. 8% says two or more races. 2% says black. That's all Hispanics. US born Hispanics say 60% of them are white. The Cubans are 90%. The other US born 20% says some other race. 11% says two or more races. And once again, 2% says black. Foreign born, this ain't even in America. 50% say I'm white. 32% says I'm some other race. And some other race, I'll break that down in a minute. Two or more races is 5%. And once again, 2% say they're black. There's a common number within the 2%. The other ones differ a little. That some other race means Cuban, Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? Dominican, Mexican, El Salvadorian. That's what they're saying. I'm this. And then they'll say two or more. I'm Cuban and Puerto Rican. I'm black and this. I'm whatever the case may be. Salaki. So why do you say that, Asar? What I'm telling you is that's white supremacy. And it has everything to do with what the hell we talking about. That's why we easily locked up, because Hispanics think they white. They think they white. They don't realize that the people that they identifying with want them in cages. Do you think white people would lock white people at the border and their children up in cages? Tell me when they've ever done the British, the Russians, the whoever's, the French, the Italians who came in through the goddamn New York port. Did they ever have their children in cages? We identifying with our enemy, man. And that's why it's so important that every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian get in class and learn. And learn. When we say black, we're talking about a condition. You're stuck on colorism. When I say you black, you thinking I'm saying you're me. You look like me. We got the same skin color. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying your condition and the condition of your people are like mine. That's why California prisons Black Mexican. Kentucky has gotten so crazy that they don't even consider Latinos. Latinx and they white. So like, you got something you want to say? If I get off, just cut me off, man.
What you bringing out is so heavy, sir. Even after dealing with the same segregation, Hispanics dealt with the same segregation that blacks went through in America. As a matter of fact, the very first case about desegregating schools was because Mexican families were not allowed in white schools in Orange County in California.
Absolutely.
1947 was the very first case on desegregation in black schools, and it was because Mexican kids were not allowed in white schools.
Yes. And it's heavy you say that, because they don't teach that. So now all you hear about is black issues. What does that do? That makes the Mexicans and the Hispanics not like black people, because what they're going to say is, man, we've been through that shit too. But all y'all want to do is talk about y'all. That's white supremacy. Now you got the blacks and Hispanics fighting when they've been through the same thing. I agree. Black people don't talk about Hispanic hurt, Hispanic destruction. The Isupk and the Commander General Yohana do. I tell everybody, and in the lecture, I started off by saying, I'm going to start it off by saying, let me give y'all a preview, that white supremacy in America started with the native Indian. There are no black people here. It started with the natives. And what I mean by the natives, I say native Indian, that includes Hispanics. It started in San Salvador, which we later learned is the Bahamas. It started in Dominica, Hispaniola, and all of these different places. It started with the Hispanic people. Before, I'm from the tribe of Judah, before my people. White supremacy started on this shore. We understand that. We talk about the pain and destruction of our Hispanic brothers and sisters because we realize that they are our brothers. They get racially profiled. Listen, Hispanic men get shot dead on the street. You never hear about it. You only hear about the black man. Why? Because the white man never wants you to put two and two together. He never wants the Hispanics to realize, damn, they treating us like niggas. We niggas. Hell, in California, they call themselves nigga this, nigga that. They might as well come on to the team. They might as well come, get in all black, and get in the truth. Because there are men on this earth that realize that Hispanics have been oppressed just like black folks have, man. Just like black folks have. The transatlantic slave trade was absolutely terrible towards my tribe. But I'm not into tribalism. And I understand when Columbus came and seen the Tainos, called them savages. You ain't even been on the shore yet. You don't even know who they are. Oh, I think they're cannibals. You ain't see them eat nobody. But that was your reasoning to shoot them dead, to rape, to pillage them, to burn them, to hang them, to create laws against them so they can never have no rights in your society. Does that sound familiar? Does it sound familiar? It happened from Argentina to Minnesota. What I mean is from the tip to the tip. It happened to all of our people, man, because we are all the same people, the Lord's chosen people. And this is why they must put us in cages. I put up a post on Facebook that showed that the school system is getting them ready for the prison system. Because once in prison, we are what? Model inmates. We don't get no write-ups. We follow all the rules. We want to go home. We're indoctrinated. And that is the weapon against our people, incarceration. You are threatened with it. Listen, every black Hispanic know one thing. Any police can pull you over, and that can be not only your last day on earth, but it could be your last day of freedom. You don't break the law. You don't do nothing. But because you're not punctified towards their contact with you, you in jail. You in jail. You locked up. Salaki, you got something else you want to say? Well, I do. I do. Because these are animals we up against, man. These is animals we up to. Listen, and the thing that gets me really tough too. Because I'm not concerned with what gangbangers do. What do you mean by that, Asar? I don't care that Serenos, the Mexican mafia, don't like the black people. That doesn't concern me. That's gangbanging. That's not the Paisas from Mexico. That's not the Chicanos living there. That's not them. That is gang stuff. I understand that. That's some gang, drug, me against you type of stuff that I have no dealings with. You understand that? I've been in East Los where they roll up. Where you from, Holmes? Man, I ain't with that. I'm an Israelite. Oh, okay. Treat it with love. I'm speaking from experience. And if Officer Regalia out there, that's the brother that was with me as a witness. Rolled up on us, caught us slipping. We could have been dead. Oh, no, we ain't with that. We Israelites. Oh, okay, homie. They don't have no problem with black people. They got a problem with some gang shit, and that gang shit makes them say fuck niggas, and you know what I'm saying? And that has nothing to do with what we talking about. Because those brothers is warriors on all sides. The Crips, the Bloods, the Pyrus, the Serenos, the GDs, the Vice Lords, the Mad Cobras, the all that. You know, Mickey Cobras, Salakia. They all warriors. They warriors. They just on some BS. Am I making sense? They just on some BS. I'm not talking about them. They are a small percentage of black and Hispanic people. Do y'all understand that? I understand that their power makes it seem like they're the majority, but they're the by far minority. Less than 1% of black people is a Crip. Hope y'all understand that. Less than 1%. And the same with Mexicans and Hispanics. Less than 1% are gangbangers. They're not the issue I'm talking about. Yes, we need them. Yes, we need to get them into the Isupk under Commander General Yohana, but they are not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that realize that I wouldn't give a damn who you like or hate. That crime, that hate against your people is automatically something you don't want to do. Ain't nothing wrong with a Mexican not wanting to harm a Mexican. That's love for your tribe. Just don't hate another tribe. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Because we got to have some kind of scripture. Salakia. But on this history class, we deal with history, man. We deal with facts. And the incarceration of our people is part of the white supremacist plan. Because listen, what can you do? Any given day, they can lock you up. They can boot stomp your door and kill your whole family and say, oops, it was the wrong house. Our bad. Damn, we need to change our procedure. This is outrageous. Are you serious? Are you serious? Go ahead and read that when you got it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Go ahead.
Thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That's you. That scripture is for every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Give me the spittle. Give me spittle. Listen, we are a holy people. Holy means separate. We're different than everybody. Hispanics are like Black people. Are y'all crazy? Why are Hispanics, Blacks, and Natives the most locked up people, the most oppressed people, the most watched people, the most feared people? Them Hispanics can say they white all they want to. The white man fears them. Fears them. Yes, he'll let you be the cartel leader. Yes, you can run the drugs because he feels he can trust you a little more. But make no mistake about it, you're still a pawn. You're still a pawn. And as you send drugs over, your people in Mexico, your people in Colombia, Peru are dying in record numbers. You don't think you like Black? You die like Black people. We die like Hispanic people. We're the same. White people aren't dying like that. Sure, Chris will go in and kill 50 people at the movie theater. That's what an animal does. No reason. Don't know you. I feel bad about myself, so I'll go kill everybody. But we die in a different way, man. 50, 60-year-old man shot in the back of the head. Dome in the back of the head. Go ahead and read that when you got it.
I'm the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 6, verse 56. As for the other people, which also from Adam.
Don't forget that we are a chosen special people. But as for the other people who also come from Adam, because all the other nations are descendants of Adam. Can we at least agree with that? We're not saying that white people come from Reese's. We're not saying, we understand that the lineage that we have is the same. We understand that. We know the stories of the Bible. Go ahead.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
They are what?
They are nothing.
They come from Adam, but they're nothing. The Lord also said there's a special chosen people. Go ahead.
But like unto spittle.
Like unto what?
Like unto spittle.
I remember these white boys used to play this game in high school, and we used to beat them. They used to gleek. Remember gleek? They used to have their tongue and gleek out. So like, you know, they was good at it. They gleeked all across the room, you spitting out their mouth like a lizard. They're not even worth that. Not according to a Son of Quash, according to the Bible. Read that again.
But be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
A drop. They're not even, listen, if you got a bucket of Kool-Aid, I hate to be black about it. If you got a bucket of Kool-Aid and drop a very small amount, that's what the Lord thinks of these other nations. They're nothing. You're not going to go crazy over that one little drop of Kool-Aid. It's nothing. So take that. Take what the Bible says. Why are we treated differently? Why is everything treated like nothing. They, the spittle, is treating us like spittle. The nothing is treating us like nothing. Isn't that enough to know we're the same? Wouldn't that tell you I have something in common with these people? My history's the same. I ask black people historically, what have Hispanic people done to you? When has Hispanic people passed a law that kept you down as a people? When has black people passed a law that kept Hispanic people down? When has black people in America invaded any Hispanic land in the Americas and oppressed them, hung them, burned them? When has an Hispanic done it? Ain't talking about no gang wars, man. You should know who started that, by who let the dope in. We are not natural enemies, but our natural enemy has us thinking we are. And like I said, now we are the spittle. Are you kidding me? The Bible says we are a chosen people, not from man, but to the Most High. We're the greatest thing on this earth, being destroyed by the spittle, being incarcerated, locked up by the spittle, because we keep breaking the laws. We keep destroying ourselves by not following God's laws, man. Go ahead.
Make it scripture.
Absolutely.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 33.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah,
Man,
were oppressed together. And all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go.
that is a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian scripture in the Bible, our book, a book that we should follow, man. With that, you got anything else?
Lies.
With that, man, I'm almost definitely class over to Precinct Officer Howard Moore, man.
Security announcements. Well, the Isupk started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brother sister. When a new brother sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. Another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes and commandment numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, a tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest fund, free will offering, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, memorial blowing of the trumpet. Do a courtesy salute. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim Rock. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabbat. Class dismissed.